Hello and welcome to Health News webinars in Kitts Nevis CBI Programme, Conclusive insights on the programme and what the future holds. As the world struggles to find stability between the COVID-19 pandemic and global conflict, high net worth individuals are finding that having a second passport is vital to ensuring a safe haven for themselves and for their families. Whether to take advantage of the tax benefits and wealth protection or for security and greater mobility, the Kitts Nevis Citizenship by Investment Programme remains a top choice for global investors. This dual island nation was the first in the Caribbean to launch a CBI scheme in 1984 to attract foreign investment. Known for its magnificent beaches and breathtaking mountainscapes, the island has always been a favorite of nature and travel enthusiasts. After decades of success, St. Kitts and Nevis currently operates the most reputable and trustworthy economic citizenship program globally. Known for its quick processing time, strict due diligence process, and countless benefits, investors consider St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program as a primary option when looking to invest in a second passport. This picturesque island nation boasts several investment options, with the most common route to obtaining the right to live and work, as well as gaining visa-free access to over 150 countries and territories, including the UK, Ireland, and EU Schengen states, being through real estate investment. My name is Sally Musa, and in today's exclusive webinar, we are exploring all of the benefits and details of this highly coveted citizenship by investment program. Our panel of top government and industry experts will be answering your questions too. Joining me today is Bashar Dawood, Managing Partner at Blumina, and Les Khan, CEO of the Citizenship Investment Unit for the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis. With 2 decades of extensive experience and a growing team of advisors, Blumina is a trend-setting firm in the arena of citizenship by investment solutions. Having established strong relationships with governments throughout the globe, Blumina is an international marketing agent for St. Kitts and Nevis. Bashar and Les, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Really great to have you. Now, Bashar, if I can start with you, being a well-established and one of the leading firms in the MENA region, how important is it for families and businessmen around the world to consider obtaining a second citizenship?
Well, first of all, thank you for hosting this webinar, Sally. It's truly a pleasure to be answering your questions alongside Mr. Les Khan, one of the most important figures of our industry, also a man with impeccable style, I see. I think we're matching here. So it's a great question. I mean, having done this for so long, we've truly seen how important it is for families here in the MENA region to have a second passport. I mean, we've been so lucky, and we've worked very hard to grow our firm to 11 different branches in 11 different cities across the MENA region. I mean, the humble beginnings started here. Mr. Wasim Daoud, the founder, started our first branch in Amman, Jordan. We've really seen so many stories, so many success stories of how a program, for example, like the St. Kitts and Nevis program, has changed people's lives when they obtain a second citizenship from that country. For example, businessmen pursuing opportunities not available to them with their current passport. I would say students exploring universities abroad. There's so much access that a person can get to healthcare systems in Europe, in Italy, in Germany, in the United Kingdom. A second citizenship would allow them to access all of these benefits. I think one of the most important benefits as well is having the peace of mind, that certain peace of mind that a successful high net worth person or family here in the Middle East would want. And that second citizenship, that second passport gives them that peace of mind. You know, another thing I wanted to add was also from another perspective, when we look at the benefits that also the countries that these candidates visit, for example, when they travel to the United Kingdom, when they have easy access to Europe, it also benefits those countries. I truly believe in that. Whether a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis wants to be able to travel to the United Kingdom, maybe explore a business opportunity that could benefit the United Kingdom, buy an apartment in Paris, place their children in universities there. That's also a great benefit to these countries that our clients, our applicants give to the rest of the world.
There are definitely benefits to this. And so, Les, I want to ask you now, considering that there are several Caribbean countries that do offer citizenship by investment, would you recommend that our viewers choose the St. Kitts program, and why would you recommend it?
First of all, let me thank Gulf News and Blumina for hosting this webinar and giving me an opportunity to talk about the St. Kitts and Nevis program. To answer your question directly, St. Kitts and Nevis is the oldest program in the world since 1984, and with it has come its legacy. Its legacy has been a solid program. Its legacy has been the platinum brand. Over the years, St. Kitts and Nevis has been working aggressively to increase the number of visa-free countries that we have access to. And right now we're at 161 countries with visa-free access. This means that citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis have the freedom to travel in almost anywhere in the world right now, visa-free. And this includes, as Basha mentioned, Schengen area, the UK, and other parts that are in demand for our clientele. Now, obviously, we don't have access to Canada and the US, but no one generally has. Making St. Kitts and Nevis the platinum brand involves the ability to process efficiently, the ability to do stringent due diligence. We make sure that the due diligence that we perform starts at the agent's level. Basha would know that we talk about due diligence on his side. And Blumina, being one of the strongest agents that we have in the Middle East, ensures that this is done so that applicants coming into St. Kitts and Nevis have gone through the rigor that is required. And this rigor ensures that we maintain our relationships with our international partners, be it the US, Canada, the EU, and so forth. It ensures that we take care of the security of our country, but of our partner relationships. So making St. Kitts the platinum brand, having a stable environment, an economic environment that encourages investment, that encourages people to want to invest in St. Kitts and Nevis. These are all reasons why clientele from around the world prefer to come to St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, the legacy has been there. And with the legacy comes comfort and knowledge that their countrymen have also applied to St. Kitts and Nevis. And this carries us a long way. So all in all, I would say the demand for St. Kitts and Nevis continues to increase. We've had some good demand even during the COVID environment. The COVID period, we saw more applicants coming in during COVID. And again, Basha alluded to this. People were looking for that security, looking for that second option to be able to travel. During COVID, you found a lot of people stranded away from their families, away from their kids, away from health benefits. And as a result, we saw an increase in applications coming out of the Middle East and other parts of the world. Again, because of St. Kitts' efficiency, because of St. Kitts being ranked #1 last year in the CBI programs, we continue to be that program that is in demand.
Absolutely. And so there are, in fact, currently different investment options available for the citizenship program for those who want to take advantage of it. Talk us through those different options and if there is one that you would specifically recommend.
Um, as as the head of citizenship by investment, I would not recommend any one particular program. The options are there for clients to determine what best fits their need in terms of pricing, in terms of their objectives. So just to let you know what the options are, we'll start with the traditional option. We originally started with the SIDF, which is the Sugar Industry Diversified Fund. This this is the program that started years and years ago. It has evolved, and we have modified it over the last 7 years to include, um, as most people would be aware of, the Hurricane Relief Fund, which was very successful for the country. Then we modified that to the Sustainable Growth Fund, and then for a period of time we had something that was called the Limited Time Offer, which stopped at the end of last year. Now, at this point in time, the pricing for the Sustainable Growth Fund, which is the program that is now being offered, is a direct contribution to the government at 150,000 for a single applicant, and basically 195,000 for a family of four. So this is a direct contribution, and many people take this option if they can't make their minds up on what real estate option they want to do. Usually, the Sustainable Growth Fund is the most direct route to citizenship in the sense that it requires less documentation. So from that perspective, we see a decent amount of applications coming in there. The second option is our real estate option, and our real estate option is driven by the need to create hotels and condominiums to support our growing tourism industry. So in that option, you would have something that is priced at 400,000, and that could be, as I mentioned, a hotel, a condominium, a villa, or so forth. In that particular case, it's 400,000 plus government fees, and the individual or individuals invested in that option must hold the asset for 5 years. The second part of the real estate option is at 200,000. This is a share in either a condominium, a hotel, um, a villa. And in this particular option, it's 200,000 plus government fees. And in addition, the individual applying or individuals applying and holding a share there have to hold it for a period of 7 years before it can be resold. So those are the two real estate options. Now, we recently implemented a third option, and this is called the alternative investment option. And in the alternative investment option, there are two categories. One is if the project, well, first of all, let me just explain. The alternative investment option was intended to bring any project that meets a government mandate under the CBI program. Before the legislation, we weren't able to take on things like a school, a hospital, or any infrastructure projects under CBI. And those had to be funded directly through Parliament. But bringing it under the CBI program now ensures that the developer can raise capital to complete a project that meets the government mandate. So, on one side of the alternative investment option, we have where the option is privately funded, meaning the developer funds it, and privately owned. Now, that means the developer owns that project. In that particular case, it's a real estate pricing of 200,000 for a share plus government fees. So that's one category of the alternative investment option. And in this category, our first privately funded, privately owned project is called La Amiga. middle income housing. So it meets a middle income need of the country. The second part of the alternative investment option is where it's privately funded, meaning that the developer constructs and builds the development or the initiative, but it's state owned. The government owns the asset. All right. The developer is just being contracted to build that infrastructure. So on this side, the pricing is different. We have it's 175,000 for a family of four, and the developer pays the government fees. Now, the first initiative under this alternative investment option is what we call a new correctional facility. So we have that project as a new correctional facility, and that is under the alternative investment option, part B, if you want to call it that, which is 175,000, and the developer pays the government fees. So those are the three options that we have with basically subcategories. And in all our initiatives, we've had good success in the promoting of these initiatives and in the requirements, or I should say the demand by clients and our agents such as Blumina.
You know, the St. Kitts currently has visa-free access to over 161 countries. So do you, Les, foresee any implications on that visa-free access that the St. Kitts and Nevis has?
Well, we're proud of the visa-free access that our citizenship provides. It's a sign of our global connectivity and mobility. We have visa-free access to the EU Schengen area and many more countries than any other Caribbean CBI program. I think there are others that have about 141, but as I said, we have about 161. We are also level with countries like Israel and Mexico, and well ahead of the likes of Turkey and South Africa. With the due diligence practices that we have, that our engagement with the EU at various diplomatic levels and the EU Commission, we will get to a point where there are basic standards that will be mandated across all CBI and RBI schemes.
And that's really important as well, Les. You have spoken a little bit about the importance of due diligence here for the St. Kitts and Nevis in comparison to other CBI programs as well. Talk to us about some of the strict measures that need to be met in order to become a citizen for St. Kitts and Nevis, and why St. Kitts and Nevis has such a strong and robust program when it comes to making sure that due diligence is absolutely rock solid there.
There are a number of levels that we have implemented over the years. One, it starts with the relationship that the client has with the agent. An agent like Blumina, an agent who is reputable and who goes through a level of KYC, know your client, practices that ensures that they are aware of the client's background. It's a requirement that we have as a mandate for our international marketing agents. Again, as Blumina represents one of our biggest international marketing agents listed. That practice of following through with the due diligence, with the background checks, and ensuring that they only give us reputable individuals is the first level of due diligence that occurs in my program. The second level is when, let's say, the agent, Blumina, sends the application to what we call a local service provider or local agent. This local agent is regulated by our FSRC, which is our regulatory body, and they must get a license from that regulatory body, and they are audited by that regulatory body. So we in St. Kitts and Nevis is the only jurisdiction that has a mandate for local agents to be regulated by the various authorities or government offices within this country. So it strengthens up that pillar of due diligence. One of the things that we also mandate is that the local agent has to do a due diligence again on the client that has been submitted by the agent. So the local service provider has to perform a due diligence and create a due diligence report that must be submitted as part of the application to the unit. Okay, so there again, you have another level and a regulated level that ensures that we're looking at the individuals with the highest reputation and good character that are submitted to St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, once the file comes into the unit, there are two levels of due diligence that occurs. One, the due diligence, the applications, forms, applications, and so on are sent to an international due diligence provider. This due diligence provider, and we have about 7 or 8 of them that we use and based on their strengths and where they can operate efficiently. These due diligence providers do open source media checks, verifies the information that they see in their open source against the application that is submitted. They then have what we call boots on the ground. So they have sub-agents in the jurisdiction, in the country that the person is originating his file from. And those sub-agents then go and do discrete inquiries to validate the integrity of the individual, to validate where the individual is working, the marriage certificate, the birth certificate, the education records, employment records, and so on. So all of this information is to ensure that the individual application has gone through a level of checks and balances, independent of the agent, independent of my service providers, but one that is done by a highly reputable international due diligence company. They then provide a report back to the unit, and we use that report as one of the means of what we call vetting the application. The second part of the due diligence that we do in the unit is we send all names, every single name that comes into the unit, we send it to what we call international law enforcement. So there is an organization in the Caribbean that is a central receptacle for all checks and balances for all the applications that come in through St. Kitts and Nevis. We submit these names, and they then have relationships with international partners, be it the EU, be it Canada, be it the US, the UK, and they access all the various databases, including Interpol, including criminal records, anti-money laundering, terrorist financing, sanction lists, everything that you can think about that they have access to. They will screen these individuals against that list. And then I get a report that will tell me whether it's a green, no problem, red, security risk, or involving fraud or criminal activity. And from that angle, we get this report, and that completes our due diligence process. We then evaluate all of these reports that we have against the information that the individual have, in addition to checking the proof of funds and source of funds. So at that point is when we make a decision. Now, the due diligence in St. Kitts and Nevis does not stop there, because when the individual has made a transfer for his investment, it goes to our national bank. And our national bank is independent of the CBI, and they run their due diligence on the individuals again. So there are at least 5 levels of due diligence that occurs to ensure that the source of funds, the proof of funds, the integrity of the individual is all checked, and that we're bringing in the individuals or granting citizenship to the individuals who are of the highest caliber. So I am very proud of the process that we have. I know my agents internationally have gotten to know and respect the position of the CBI unit here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Not always very happy with my decisions, but support me, because they know that when we make a decision, we have gone through all the checks and balances. We have attempted to ensure that the individual is clear, but if everything stacks up against that individual, then it's a no-go.
And that is just so important, because this is what it's about. It's about trust. It's about trust from your government to those who are coming to take advantage of the CBI program. It's about the trust of those countries who also are part of the CBI program, the Schengen countries and so on and so forth. When somebody's coming from the St. Kitts, they can be trusted because of this incredible multi-level due diligence process there. So Bashar, I'd love to come to you and ask you, when recommending a program to your clients, what factors do you consider important as a government accredited agent, and what should potential candidates be looking for?
It's a great question. We've had so much experience with so many programs throughout the years and working directly with governments. I think at Blumina, it's become very, very natural for us to know how and what to recommend to our clients. I think a lot of agents seem to forget that to listen to the client's needs. I think they're very quick to just recommend whatever is happening at the moment, and they do not listen carefully to what a client wants. Someone coming in with residency needs is different than a client who is requiring direct citizenship. Someone from one jurisdiction might want to express himself in a way, whereas someone from another jurisdiction might not know how to say what is it that they need as a client. So listening is something that a lot of agents, I feel, forget to do. And I think that's the first step in knowing what to recommend. Is it residency? Is it citizenship? That's, I think, number one. Secondly, and this is very important, and I go back to what Mr. Khan has been saying, the reputation of a program, the foundation of a program, this plays a big role in selecting something for our clients. I want to choose the best for a person that walks into my office. And I feel that when I choose a solid program, a reputable program, a transparent program in their system, their process, how much is it? How long does it take? What are the required documents? What options are available? It's nice when Mr. Khan speaks about, well, there's the real estate program, there's the sugar fund donation program, there's the alternative investment program. And within these, there are different streams. So it's nice to have these options for the clients with different price points. It's nice to explain to them what the required documents are. And when you get a strong and reputable program that you work with, such as St. Kitts and Nevis, it's easy to recommend this program to the clients. You feel at ease, our advisors feel at ease. Again, we go back to talking about a thorough due diligence process. It feels good. It feels great when a client walks in and is saying that this is an exclusive program. This program is going to vet me like it has vetted others. And it leaves a certain comfort in the client's mind, in the client's heart, in his family's heart, to say that, yes, this is the program we want. And us as agents have to not only listen, but to also complement the client with a very strong and reputable program. I don't want to go to a program that's just easy to obtain, required documents little, we don't really know what the process is. I'd like to have, although I agree with Mr. Khan, sometimes it's difficult for us to go through the whole due diligence process. I felt when Les was explaining it, it seemed like a nightmare to go through it. But we have the capabilities, we have the experience to put the client in ease and to make him to go through all this process and to obtain the right citizenship in a strong program. So this is the first part of your question, I think, which is how would we recommend? Now, what should potential candidates look for? I think they should seek, obviously, accredited, high success rate, customer-oriented firms, specialized firms. And I say that, I mean, loudly. I say it with pride. We are specialized in CBIs, in our RBIs, so the clients must be able to see that. I wouldn't want to go to a company that can provide you with CBI, but can also, I don't know, arrange your tickets to Istanbul, like a travel agency and so on. No, I would want to go to a CBI specialized company. I would want to go to a residence by investment specialized company, not a company that offers airplane tickets, vacation packages, immigration services. No, specialization, I think, is key here. I also see that the company, the firm that you are dealing with must be up to date with current market news, industry statistics, be up to date with what's happening in technology. I mean, I'm proud to say, for example, here at Blumina, we introduced the first virtual office of the industry. We learned a lot from the Corona period. We learned that people want comfort. They want to get in touch with us while at home, at the comfort of their own living rooms, click of a button, can actually get in touch with one of our expert advisors literally on Zoom. And that is something we're proud of, to become an innovative company, to be an innovative company. I think that's what clients should seek.
And that's just incredible. You've mentioned there the specialization, the convenience. It really is vital. And also, Les, if we can come back to the trust issue, and because it's important to realize here that applicants who have a UK visa refusal, they actually can't apply for a St. Kitts and Nevis citizenship. So talk to us about why that is.
Well, to reconfirm, yes, an individual who has been denied a visa from the UK should not apply to us. And it's tied into our regulations. There is a regulation specifically under the CBI program that says if you have been denied a visa from a country that we have visa-free access to, you shall be denied. So the UK seems to be the one country that we get most of our visa refusals from. And it's because of that legislation that we have to deny the individuals. Now, as I said, in going through our due diligence process, we go to our international law enforcement, and our international law enforcement is able to work with the UK authorities and identify individuals who have been denied. So when I get a flag back from my international law enforcement reports, it's very simple. We go back out to the agents and we say, hey, listen, this person has been refused a visa in the UK. We cannot take them unless they can prove that they can get a visa right now. So the agent then will go through the process and advise the client, listen, apply for a visa. And once you get that, we'll go through the check again and make sure that the visa is a legitimate visa. So there are many checks and balances that we go through, and we have to assure ourselves that there isn't any fraudulent activity going on and that they're getting the right visas to enter. So that's the main reason for the UK visa refusals. And we do understand that it is a very tedious process. We do understand that there are certain nationalities that if they apply for a visa in the UK will be automatically denied for various reasons. Unfortunately, we cannot take those individuals in. And we ask the applicants to be very, very honest with their agent or agents because you don't want to come all the way through the process and then realize, oh, you were denied a visa 10 years ago. If you have been denied a visa and then you were able to go into the UK, then you need to be able to provide those stamps on your passport and be able to give it to us as part of the process so that we can use that to try to clear the individual. And as Basha would know, when we go through the process, I mean, Basha would call me and people will be in touch with my unit, and we'll try to make sure that we give this individual or these individuals the best opportunity to be successful in the application process.
And so, to all of that as well, Les, how important is it for clients to choose a well-established and reputable agent, somebody who has a very strong relationship with the government, just as Blumina does here?
Well, it's very, very important for clients to know who they're dealing with. We have established a mechanism that's called the International Marketing Agent. And one of the mandates of becoming an international marketing agent is obviously you pay me a fee every year. Basha doesn't like that, but we do due diligence on the company that is applying for the international marketing license. In addition, as part of the requirements, the international marketing agent must have and must prove to us that they have good KYC practices, a good anti-money laundering practices, that they are established regulated entity, they have their business licenses, we know who the directors are, we know which local agent that they're using, and we know which sub-agents they have. One of the things we do with our international marketing agents, and we have terms of engagement that we provide to all of them, which is basically say that if you have sub-agents, you are responsible for your sub-agent. You are responsible for the marketing of the sub-agents, because we know that there are a lot of sub-agents out there, or small mom and pop shops, some agents who are just starting off without knowing anything about citizenship by investment. And I think clients need to be wary of these individuals. They should go, as Basha has mentioned, to a reputable international marketing agent who has the established relationship with the government, who knows what their responsibility is to the government, and to ensure that they're given that client the best support and advice. There are many agents out there who are not reputable. Every day I hear about cases where somebody has absconded with somebody's money, or that an agent established a business but took clients away from the people they were working for before. These are not reputable people, and it should be very clear that clients, when they choose their agents, they do the background check. They look on my website. They know who the international marketing agents are, who are reputable, who are not reputable. And I'm going to say one more thing. Ask for a receipt. Your clients must ask for a receipt of funds paid. I know in the region, a lot of people work on a cash basis. However, without that receipt, you can't prove that you've paid the money to the agent, and therefore it leaves a lot of opportunities in the air for indiscriminate activities. So protect yourself as a client. Go with a reputable agent. Do your background check.
Oh, absolutely vital. And I can see you, Bashar, just nodding along there to everything that we're saying. And, I can see just even from doing this webinar how close the two of you actually are. And, the very strong relationship that you have, which is so incredible.
We even dress alike.
Yeah, exactly right, the same time.
Yes.
That's how well we know each other. But, all jokes aside, as Les said, this is something that is very serious. You're handing over you know, a lot of money for something that's incredibly important. So absolutely, you know, as Bloomina is, you need to go with somebody who is absolutely 100% trusted by the government there as well. But let's talk about how a client's needs and wants are different in each of your offices across the MENA region as well. And like you said, you listen to everybody and their different needs. So talk to us a bit about that.
I mean, of course, I mean, we're blessed to have these 11 offices across these different cities. And one thing we did learn is that cultures are different, all the way from North Africa, which is our offices in Cairo, to the Gulf region. People are different. Palestinians living in Palestine are completely different than Palestinians living in the Gulf area for the past 40 years. Something important, something that we focus on is our internal employees. They're well equipped to handle the different types of people. You know, we've served over 25 nationalities. I was looking the other day at our stats, and we have over 25 nationalities that we've served throughout the years. And we're proud to say we have over 100 members, 100 employees that are our family members now, that know exactly how to serve the Kurdish-speaking people from northern Iraq, the more conservative people, the people looking more for lifestyle, cultural differences, religious differences. You know, it's not easy, but we have been able to, throughout the years and with a lot of hard work, to give a customized service to each and every, I would say, background of clients. And this is something we are very, very proud of. Again, to be able to recommend one out of the 16 programs that we are currently offer to the 25 different nationalities, to 11 cities, to 11 branches across the MENA region, it takes a lot of hard work. And I personally am so proud of our staff, our members. They're so well equipped, and I'm so honored to give this customized service to each and every individual that walks into our office. We know, like I know for a fact, we represent these clients in front of the governments. We know we're the face. So we're the broker between, let's say, the agent between the client, who may seem conservative and not understand what documents he's giving, to be able to translate that, to communicate that to Mr. Khan and his team. And it takes a lot of hard work, so many differences, so many language barriers, dialects. I mean, the Kurdish people are way different than Arabs in Egypt. But again, I think our staff is the key. And that's how we were able to serve in a customized manner all of these nationalities.
And like you said, it is vital that you have that presence across the MENA region, because then you have people who are from the area on the ground who understand that as well. And that is really important here.
Definitely.
So if I can come back to you, Les, and ask you as it relates to Iraqi applicants, and more specifically to the agents present in Iraq, can you talk about the importance of selecting an approved agent there?
I think in Iraq specifically, it seems to be a challenge. There are so many players in the region that makes it very difficult for clients to determine who is real and who isn't real. Again, coming back to our international marketing agents, knowing who your agents are, not accepting price as a necessary defining factor when you make that decision, because price is not necessarily going to give you quality, and price also may infringe on your ability to get your application approved. There are situations in Iraq that I'm familiar with where there are agents matching applicants and creating false documentation, false marriage certificates. We are on the lookout for this, but we know it happens because it's a matter of price. We make sure that our international law enforcement partners are aware that this may be happening, And I make sure that in my unit, my people are trained to look for this sort of activity. And I know the applications coming in from the agents who submit to me are pretty good and are trusted. So again, knowing who those trusted applications or agents are is most important. Again, the clients must be cognizant of who they're interacting with. As Basha mentioned, it's going to a travel agent who might do citizenship. Are you getting the best information? Are you getting the right support to get your application approved? Because it all goes back to what the agent actually provides to us and how that agent works with us. So again, recognizing the nature of the business, it's so much more important in Iraq to go with an international marketing agent or somebody who is highly reputable with the program. And our embassy in Abu Dhabi is there to give support if an individual is concerned about the agent. Is this agent a reputable agent? Obviously, the unit is accessible to clients if they want to know if this agent is reputable. Go on my website, go and look at who the international marketing agents are, where they may have offices, and stay with that to be on the safe side.
Exactly. Know who they are. And so, Bashar, as we come to the end of the webinar, I would love to give you the final word. Is there anything that you want to add to what Les has said? Please.
Well, sure, of course. I mean, to add on the last question, on the last comments about the Iraqi market, I mean, we currently have 3 offices operating in Erbil and Suleimaniye, which are in the northern Kurdistan region, and we have a new revamped office that in Baghdad. So, as an international marketing agent, we're very happy to hear from Mr. Les Khan that it is vital, it is important for clients to know whom they are dealing with, especially in the Iraqi market, where a lot of smaller time agents, I would say, who do not have much experience, that are not international marketing agents, are offering these citizenship services left and right. A client has to think that the citizenship process is a lifetime asset. You must choose the right firms to precisely give you the right, technically and legally right details, information, and know-how of how to apply. I'm glad Mr. Khan knows what is going on in the Iraqi market, but we deal directly with clients. Our offices are open to all the clients to walk in, to get to know us, to know that we do the process legitimately, accurately, and as fast as possible. It's not always the gimmicky products that should be attractive to these clients. It should be the real international marketing agent that gives the real legal advice. Also, lastly, in regards to the whole webinar, I just want to say that I'm so glad I was part of it. It's what Mr. Khan spoke about is so relevant. He's always relevant in today's what's happening today in the industry, in the world. So the answers, I think, were very, very beneficial to us. I've learned a lot from the webinar. I'm very optimistic that our industry will continue to grow, and I know our clients will continue to prosper, and I know that these programs will continue to be strong.
For sure, and I recognize this part of the webinar. So as we conclude today, I know that people who are watching this, they're thinking about taking advantage of the Kitts Nevis CBI program. You guys have given broad general advice, but as you said, Bashar, it is about knowing exactly what to do every step of the way. Every step is important, and you need to talk to the experts. So get in touch with the team at Blue Mina, who can help you with a personalized consultation to see how best to help you with your CBI program applications as well. So thank you so much, Bashar Dawood and Les Khan, for your invaluable input today. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your efforts, Sally.
Thank you. And a big thank you, of course, to our amazing audience who have been tuning in to the discussion today. And this session is going to be available online on the Gulf News and AGNC3 YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe there and share this along with your family and friends so everyone can benefit. My name is Sally Musa for Gulf News. See you next time.